5 senses: sight, smell, sound, touch and taste. Sight. Our sense of sight helps us see the world around us. We use our eyes to look at colors, shapes, and sizes of objects. When we look at things, light enters our eyes and sends messages to our brains, which then help us understand what we are seeing. We can see the blue sky, green trees, and colorful flowers. Questions. How does our sense of sight help us understand the world around us? What are some examples of things we can see with our eyes? Can you explain how our eyes work like cameras? Touch. Our sense of touch helps us feel different textures and temperatures. We use our skin to touch things like soft blankets, rough rocks, and cold ice cream. When we touch objects, tiny nerves in our skin send messages to our brains, which then help us understand what we are feeling. We can feel the warmth of the sun on our skin, the coolness of water on our hands, and the softness of a puppy's fur. Questions. How does our sense of touch help us interact with the world? What are some examples of textures and temperatures that we can feel? Can you explain how nerves in our skin send messages to our brains when we touch something? Smell. Our sense of smell helps us notice different scents in the air. We use our noses to smell things like flowers, food, and even our favorite toys. When we breathe in air through our noses, tiny smell receptors inside our noses send messages to our brains, which then help us understand what we are smelling. We can smell the fresh scent of flowers, the aroma of cookies baking, and the fragrance of rain. Questions. How does our sense of smell help us notice things in our environment? What are some examples of scents that we can detect with our noses? Can you describe how smell receptors work in our noses? Taste. Our sense of taste helps us enjoy different flavors of food. We use our tongues to taste sweet, sour, salty, and bitter things. When we eat food, tiny taste buds on our tongue send messages to our brains, which then help us understand what flavors we are experiencing. We can taste the sweetness of candy, the sourness of lemons, and the saltiness of popcorn. Questions. How does our sense of taste help us enjoy different flavors? What are the 4 main flavors that our taste buds can detect? Can you explain how taste buds send messages to our brains? Hearing. Our sense of hearing helps us listen to sounds all around us. We use our ears to hear different noises, like people talking, birds singing, and cars honking. When sound waves enter our ears, they travel to our brains, which then help us understand what we are hearing. We can hear the sound of rain falling, music playing, and our friends laughing. Questions. How do we use our sense of hearing to experience the world? What are some examples of sounds that we can hear? Can you describe how sound waves travel from our ears to our brains?
Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more future educational videos.